Hey guys, Spear here again. So, I'm doing another tutorial, and this tutorial is going to be on the best settings in Apex. So, a lot of people want to know, like, what sensitivity to rock, what dead zone does what, all this other stuff, how to B-hop, which tutorial coming on right now, guys, just so you know. It'll be up by the time you see this video. But yeah, so, if you guys don't think I'm a trusty source, I'm a level 76 right now. I don't know if this shows me or not. Yeah, I'm a level 76. I have around 50 wins. I'm a race player. I have the heirloom. I have quarantine 72020 or 722, whatever it is. I've been playing this game for quite a while. I know a lot of stuff, so I can help you out with a lot of tips and tricks if you have any questions. I think I'm definitely one of the top console players. Could be anyways. I don't know. I don't run into many people this high of a level yet, because not many people get to play as much as me. But today's video is going to be on the best console settings. So for people who don't want me to like explain everything, I'm just going to show all my settings right now. Here you go. Alright, so that's my settings for people who aren't going to watch the whole video, but for people who are like just starting off and want some explaining, because you can't just like copy someone's settings and expect to be like amazing with them. Like, sensitivity is all personal, but like I can explain stuff to you to make it easier to find what you like. So we're going to start off by like just explaining everything and why I use what I use. Alright. I gotta make sure I didn't mess up anything. Oops. So I have it 62. Alright, so interact prompt style. If you're new to the game, use default. Basically what this is it like when you hover over a gun, I can actually show you quick. Here. When you hover over a gun, what will happen?
Inside the supply bin, you will find a weapon and ammo. Arm yourself.
So if I drop this gun quick, if you hover over it, you see how it explains everything about the gun. Where if I go on compact, it just shows that it's an R99. So if you're brand new to the game and you don't know much like what weapons are what, like setting or like what you want on your gun, stuff like that, leave it on default. But if you like have been playing this game for quite a while like I have, just switch it to compact. It makes it a lot more like less stuff to see. I mean, just kind of preference there. Button hints. This just leave on. It just helps you out with other stuff. Like you don't need to switch that. I think yeah, it's like so like right here it shows ping X, and now yeah it still shows it. Never mind then. Yeah, I don't really know what it does. Just leave it on. Crosshair damage feedback. So what this does is it like when you hit someone, it tells you like if they have indicating shield. It show on an X on the crosshair and an icon indicating shield level. So it shows how much shield they're going to be at when you get hit, or when you hit them. So damage number. This is like one of the most, like, everyone says use a different one. People keep saying use floating because it's the same as Fortnite. People say use none, it helps with tracking. Both. So here's what I'm going to say. Both is, don't use it. It shows way too much, gets confusing, and it's just not worth it. It'll make your aim terrible because you just won't be able to see anything. Floating, you can use, but I wouldn't recommend it because it shows all these other numbers and you'll never know like what HP they're actually at. Especially if you use a shotgun, it'll mess you up. Stacking, it might take you a second to get used to, but this is what I recommend. Because if you hit your shot, it tells you exactly how much you hit them for. If you hit them for like 50 shield, all this other stuff. So this is definitely what I'd recommend. Because if I grab the gun quick, when like I'm shooting, it tells me exactly how much damage I did overall. But if I like did that, you see how like it's a difference. So that's what I'd recommend. Ping opacity. You can do faded default. It's kind of preference. So it's like if I go, oh, it's not gonna let me ping right now until I get to that part. But anyways, it's just kind of preference. You want like to see through your pings, or do you just want to see them, or completely see them? Obituaries. This is where people die, I think. So say if your teammate gets knocked or something. To be honest, I don't really know what it is, but every single video, if you look it up, will all say have them on. Otherwise, you won't know where people die and stuff like that. So leave that on. So here's something that most people won't tell you. This is 2D, 3D, or both. So this is like if someone's shooting you, it tells you where they're at, basically. So I'd recommend both. Most people use like 2D. Most pros will use like 2D, but I just use both. I think it's a lot better. You can kind of see. You'll know exactly where you're getting shot from every time, and it's very nice to know. Streamer mode. I mean, if you're a streamer, put it on. Doesn't really matter. It's all you. Usage sharing. Just put it on enabled. Doesn't really matter. Colorblind mode. If you're colorblind, use it. These I just leave like this. Okay, so this feature right here, I don't know if it's still bugged right now, but at the start of the game, if you turned it on, your game would crash every time you load into a game, and it completely like not let you play, and so like you don't want to do that. And I don't know if it's fixed now, but just don't risk it. It's not worth it. Button layout. So this is preference. Default's really good. Most people can get away with using that. If you're like a Call of Duty person and you like tactical stuff like that, that's what button puncher is. You can use that. But I use Ninja because it's way easier to B-hop with and like be really mobile, because you switch your dump to L1 and then your slide to R1. So it's very helpful. For like Xbox, it'd be the top two bumpers. So it makes it like a lot easier to be very mobile and hit your shots at the same time. And then also, let's see. So the next one, crouch button, hold right here. I'd probably still be playing on toggle if it wasn't like b-hopping in the game, because that's like the only reason. Like hold it, you have to have it for it, and b-hopping is really necessary. And I've just gotten used to keeping it on hold right now, so I recommend using hold. Yikes, my accuracy is rough right now though. I'm not a G7 scope person, so I'm just gonna show off with my accuracy right now to redeem myself, because that was not looking too good.
Key to becoming an Apex legend is communication with your brethren. You can ping different locations,
Yikes,
objects,
okay.
and enemies depending on
A little rusty, it's my first game on
Follow
today.
the checklist to cycle through your pings.
So anyways, those are hard targets. Okay, so that redeems myself right there. That was pretty good. Anyways, sensitivity now, or aim button, hold. You don't want to use toggle. That's just self-explanatory. That's like any first-person shooter ever. Sensitivity, this is all preference what you find yourself. What I'd recommend doing though is response curve. Use classic or steady. If you play Call of Duty a lot, stick with classic no matter what. But if you want to try something out new, steady. I mean, they're basically the same thing. The other three are just terrible. Don't use them. But steady or classic are the where to go. I personally just use steady. I don't think it makes that much of a difference, but I just feel like I hit some more of my shots when I use steady. So I'd recommend steady. I play on 4, same. Some people play on like 5, 3. I'd recommend just keeping it simple. I like same for the bottom one because it's a perfect balance. Otherwise, if you go from like 5 to like 2, 3, it's like this, you'll move so fast right here and you'll switch it to really low, and it makes you like really inconsistent when you're trying to snap on people. See how like I can't hit a shot like this because it's way too quick and it's way too slow. So like if you are gonna do something, like if you're gonna do 5, at least go 5 same or 5 4. Don't try to put like too much of variation in these. So I'd recommend, you don't want to go anything below 4. You can go above 4 if you still hit your shots, but this is kind of preference. This is what you're good with. Unlike most battle royales, this one you don't need that high of a sensitivity unless you like. I mean, there's obviously other times where it'll come in handy and help you, but I mean, it won't like be the end of the world if you don't have a higher sensitivity. Look dead zone. This is pretty much if I set my controller down and if I move, you see how it's not moving at all. So I could play on this, but personally, I just hit more shots when I play in small dead zone. But if you set your controller down and you have to, it like automatically moves, then switch it to large. But honestly, just keep it small. You'll be fine. Moving dead zone small. You want the smaller the better. Inverted luck if that's how you like it. Vibration, make sure that's off because that messes with your aim a lot. I mean, if you're not like wanting to be completely competitive, you can turn it on, I guess. It's more preference too. But I like it on, off way better. Brightness, this is also preference. Just make sure you have it high enough to where you can actually see. Field of view, this is probably like the most important setting in the game, or one of. I have it on 92. You want it anywhere from like 90 to 100. I play on a monitor, so it's a lot easier for me to see with it. And it's all like what you can see with. It's all preference. Like, you gotta make sure it's not too zoomed in to where, so if it's too zoomed in, then you're not gonna be able to see around you, and it's gonna be very weird. And I just, like, you won't be able to see people who are like aside of you, and it just fucks you up a lot. But if you have it like this, I mean, some people can play like this just fine, but for me, like, hitting these shots way far away, look how small these targets got. Like, that's really hard of a shot to hit. Where if I have mine to where I normally play, like, it's a lot easier for me to hit that type of target. I don't have to, like, lean in and look so hard. So audio, I'm gonna say one thing about audio. Okay, that's right. So one thing about audio, I keep scrolling through this thing, so it's messing mine up, but I know mine by heart. So audio, make sure these three are all at 100%. Dialogue volume, I mean, that's, you can switch that down a little bit, but if you play like Wraith like I do, you'll need to hear those signs if people have sights on you, so it's a lot easier to like know if you're in a fight or not. Music volume, so make sure no matter what, this is at 0. This has to be at 0 if you want to be anywhere like remotely good, because otherwise you won't be able to hear when people are on you. And I mean, say you still like music, like that's what the lobby music's for. You can have this however high you want. This is all preference right here. Music volume, this needs to be 0 because you do not want to be listening to music while you're in the middle of a match. Subtitles, this is also kind of preference. I play Wraith, so I want to know if someone sees me, and it like pops up a thing at the bottom saying someone has sights on you. So like I'll know if people are on me. And again, I already told you about this one. This is where it crashes your game, so don't do it. So that's all my settings for you. I think they're probably like one of the best in the game. I mean, obviously everyone has their personal opinions. So if you have like anything you think works better, comment them and I'll make another video. And if you have any more like suggestions or things you want to learn, like tips, tricks, how I do stuff, just tell me and I'll keep uploading. If not, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.